Hello, hello, happy Thursday, happy Facebook Live time. My name is Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have been doing this for over 19 years. Have loved every minute of it. I am here with some crafty fun for you tonight. I'm gonna be sharing a project, actually 3 variations on the same project, and different ways to make it, so that's be kind of fun. And then I've got some announcements. Before I get started, give people an opportunity to join in, just a little bit about what's going on for me. You guys, I was here last week, so I'm doing 2 consecutive weeks, which, I haven't been doing for a while, but I took a little break because I had my trip to California. So kind of making up for a little bit of lost time. Plus, I've got Maker's Mojo, the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape happening next week. So just need next week to be a little bit clearer. So here I am. Hello, people joining. Hi, MJ. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Linda. I know there were other names that flashed by, but anyway, so glad to see you guys here. So again, I've got a card today. It's called a recessed card, and I'm going to be showing a couple of different variations of that card. Hi, Megan. Yay, so glad to see you here. Hi, Mary Beth. Wonderful. So glad to see people joining in. So it has been a crazy week, I'm just going to say. Despite that, I'm in just such a good mood. I don't know why. I think I'm really just excited about Maker's Mojo coming up next week. It's been nuts. We had our windows cleaned this week, so house discombobulated. My daughter's painting her room, so furniture in the hallways. And then while the guys were cleaning our house, our windows rather, one of the toilets broke and there was water all over the bathroom. Which she had to rig up so that it wouldn't flood the entire house. Anyway, it's just been crazy. Hello, hello. So glad to see people here. Okay, I see a French comment in there. Let's see, I think you said good evening, bonsoir. I think that's what I got. Anyway, I took French in high school. Hi, Sharon, good to see you here. Hi, Joan. Yay, so glad to see people joining in. So anyway, it's been a crazy week, and yet I'm so excited. I crafted a lot last weekend preparing for Maker's Mojo. I have more to do. I have club tomorrow. And just to launch right into announcements, things you might actually be interested in besides my week of crazy life. The Sun Prince class kits already are in the mail. Some of you may have already received them, so that's super exciting. I still have some finishing touches on the PDF to work on. The video is ready, but I anticipate getting that out by early next week, so really soon. So that said, if you are interested in the electronic material for that class, that would be the video and the PDF, you can still get that. If you sign up and register to get it now, you would get it as an instant download when you pay. So I won't send you the link to pay until it's 100% ready. So that's kind of fun. I am going to be using some of the Sun Prince products today, so you'll get to see a little bit of it in action as well. But excited that I got the kits in the mail. The kits, of course, are no longer available because all that cutting and all that's out already to the recipients. Okay, what else? Product shares. They're out. I had projected getting them done by August 1st. I was worried about, managing Maker's Mojo, my trip and all that. I got them out this week. So I'm super excited. Those of you who ordered product shares, you have happy mail coming to you super soon. The product shares, I love my product shares because you get a lot of wonderful products to play with. So happy mail coming to you. All right, what else? Quick, my technique class, August 30th. In my newsletter, there was a link to let me know you're interested. Let's see what else. Okay, so, okay. Maker's Mojo, like I said, is coming up next week. It's our summer event. We're super excited about this event. We met earlier this week and talking about all the details, getting everything squared away. There's already things happening in the Maker's Mojo in the private Facebook group. We've decided to do play-along posts this time in such a way that we're doing prize drawings, and those prize drawings are already starting to happen. We won't announce winners until the actual event, but the sooner you sign up for Maker's Mojo, the more prize drawings you'll have the opportunity to participate in. Hi, Jolene. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. Definitely the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape is so much fun. It's 10 presentations. You'll get a PDF and video tutorials for all of them. You can watch it live. You can watch the replay. The live is super fun. Like I said, I think that's why I'm kind of jacked up this week and today. And we also have a guest presentation as well. So that's also going to be fun. Hi, Carla. Good to see you here. Yay. So yes, if you haven't signed up for Maker's Mojo, and some of my team members have earned it for free. If you got an email saying you earned it for free, definitely sign up. There's no harm in it. Now, it normally costs $45 for people to participate in, and team members can purchase it as well as customers. But my team members have an opportunity to earn it for free. So if you have any interest in becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, it doesn't mean you have to demonstrate to anybody, but you can be your own best customer, get a 20% discount, all that stuff. You can get the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape that's happening next week completely for free. So I give it to my new team members, give their first event to them for free. Want them to check it out and see all the fun that we have. So consider joining. It's also celebration, which means that if you join, you also get the planner collection, which is like a $45 value, includes a really cool planner. I showed it last week, so you can go back to last week's video if you want to see it. Anyway, super cool. Hi, Laura Lee. Good to see you here. So anyway, okay, that's that. Now I'm doing something else. So before I go into, I've got a few more announcements. I do want to say that some months ago, I announced that I was working on earning the incentive trip this year. The one this year is going to be, well, it's really 2023's year, or incentive trip, is to the Norwegian fjords. It had been the Baltic Sea, but for obvious reasons, we're not doing the Baltic Sea, and it is a cruise. My husband's super excited about it. I'm kind of distraught to say that I'm quite afar from reaching that goal. I'm sad. I'm like almost, I feel like I'm almost letting go of it, but I have to like put a last ditch effort into it. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of things. Things that I hopefully will get me the sales and people joining and promoting in my team and all those things that I need in order to earn this trip. So it's going to be a hard push because I've only got about 10 weeks left of the Stampin' Up! Year, so it ends the end of September. So if you see that I'm doing more classes, more activities, sign up. Every little bit is going to count. I'm going to be doing some product-based classes. I'm going to offer the tarnished foil class with a product-based option, so there'll be some sales in there for me because that every little bit counts towards the earning the trip. What else? And I'm doing a special event during celebration that you can earn by purchasing from me, hosting a party with me, or joining. So you'll earn this special event that you get completely free, kits in the mail, you don't pay for, etc. So in order to qualify, you have to purchase $150 during celebration, which is July 1 through August 31st. If you've already purchased, what you've purchased will already count. So it's cumulative. So cumulative of $150 that you spent during the whole period. So if you've already spent $150, you're already there. You already got the free event. So yay for you. The other way is to host a party with me that reaches $300 or more in sales. Now, when you do that, you'll get the free event also, kits in the mail, or you can come to my house because I know we'll have some local people as well. And if it's not here, of course, you'll get a video to show you how to do it. Or actually, I think we decided I was going to do Zoom. I'm going to do Zoom, but it will be a video. You can participate in Zoom live, or you can get the video replay afterwards and watch it. And if you reach $300, because it's celebration, you're also going to get a free stamp set. I showed that last week also. And then, of course, I said, if you join, you also earn the free event from me, which will be in September, at some point late September, and you get that planner. So lots of great perks. And anything you participate in, that or other things, it's going to help me get closer to earning that incentive trip. All right, so next up, I sent a survey in my newsletter that went out early this morning. inviting people to complete a survey. I'm considering doing a Stamp-A-Stack. It would be a product-based Stamp-A-Stack. So you would get some of the consumables that you would need in the Stamp-A-Stack in your kit. And I gave people options in the survey, how many projects you'd like to make, how many designs, you know, just trying to get a sense for if there's interest in it. There won't be tons of product in it, but there'll be some. Again, every little bit counts in terms of sales to try to get me to this goal. So one of the other things I'm going to be doing. Let's see what else. I think those are the main things right now. Oh, and I do have a class coming up that I'm not going to announce yet because it's kind of a surprise. It's going to come. You're going to, if you participate in Maker's Mojo, you're going to find out about the class during Maker's Mojo, because the people who attend Maker's Mojo are going to get first dibs on this class. Another reason to sign up for Maker's Mojo. All right. So lots of things I'm going to be, and there will probably be more over the next coming weeks. Again, with that goal of trying to reach the incentive trip. And I don't want to watch it slip through my fingers. All right. So last up, there's a Stampin' Storage magnet card odds and ends sale. I know, mouthful, right? So if you like to use Stampin' Up magnet cards, I use them all the time for my dies. So there's one that I use. I think they've discontinued some, and so they have odds and ends. So they're doing a sale on them. That information was in my newsletter today. Actually, the graphic and the link didn't show up at first, so I sent a second email. Apologize, second email. The second email was just focused on Stampin' Storage. I am an affiliate for Stampin' Storage, so if you purchase something through my link, I get a tiny little bit of commission from that. So appreciate if you use my link if you decide to purchase. Alrighty, enough talking. Well, I'm going to keep talking. It's just the subject's going to change to the project. You guys ready for the project? Super excited to show you this. So, hi, Catherine. Good to see you here. I am going to face the camera down and I'm going to show you my recessed cards. Do they come in different sizes? Well, the ones that I have are 5x7 and 6x7, I think, are the two sizes. So this is the larger of the two. And then there's a smaller one as well. I think those are the only two sizes, but I could be wrong because I haven't looked at the details. But my guess is I think some of these may have been discontinued, so they may be part of the sale. And for Stampin' Storage, they did say it's while supplies last, so they're trying to get rid of all this extra stuff. But once it's gone, it's gone. So if you are interested in checking it out, definitely check it out sooner rather than later, so you don't miss out. All right, thanks for the question, Catherine. I'm going to switch my camera and we'll go look down at my workspace. Okay, or my play space, more aptly named. Okay, so what you see in front of you, the Nature's Prints stamp set and dies. I am using this in my original project for this design. And again, the Sun Prints class that I mentioned earlier is available. So here is the Sun Prints paper. It's just gorgeous paper. My first design that I'm going to show you is made with this paper. And there are my back sides, more neutral. Backside of that one. And then just this lovely one. So pretty. There's also some paper in the catalog. I forget what it's called. It has some of these same patterns in it in different colors. And it's just beautiful. I mean, just like this. If you love these patterns, you might want to check out that one as well. And the other thing I'm going to be using today is the Hues of Happiness for one of my second version. I'll show you that when I get to that version. Well, actually, I'm doing that first. So let's show you the card design that is my original card design. This is a recessed card. And I've got some of that designer paper in the background. And I've got this heat embossed. I've got a little bit of ribbon on there. And I've used the Fern 3D embossing folder on there. And it's all popped up, you can see. And that's why it's called a recessed card, because this portion is recessed. You can do these in a variety of different ways. And in fact, I did a recessed card of a different layout for the Sun Prints class. So, FYI. Okay. And you know what? Maybe I should show you those now while I'm thinking about sun prints, because I'm going to move on to Hues of Happiness. So I'm going to do a quick little show of the projects in the sun prints class, just in case you're interested or considering the electronic version. So this is one of the designs. And for this design, I'm going to go through it quick. I created a second version, which I included a photograph of in the PDF. And then I've also included instructions in the PDF, not the video, but the PDF, for how to make it into a shaker card. Isn't that fun? So much fun. There's another one. That I did a bunch of the die cutting because I did the flowers for you. And here's the recess card that we did as part of the class, or that we are doing, or that you could be doing. That one. There's another one. I am going through quick on purpose. Can't show you too much. So, and there's my little class flyer. So there is, I will link in the video description, today's video description, the details, how to register, all that good stuff if you're at all interested. The PDF, again, the 6 projects, and then the 2 bonus projects that I showed, plus the instructions for the shaker card in the PDF. Are you the only one that lost sound? Do you have, okay, you still have sound. Okay, so maybe the sound went away for a minute. I hate that, but hopefully I'm back. All right, so there is the current host code if you just decide spontaneously that you have to purchase something to help me reach my goal, just in case, and my website in case you want to go look at some of the other wonderful projects on my website. All right, so for this, the version that I'm going to make right now, and I have 3 versions to show you. One is complete. I showed you, well, 2 are complete. I showed you this one. I'm going to save the 3rd one for last. But this next version, I'm going to be making this one, and you're going to help me with a little bit of the design, or if you want to. So these patterns are just so gorgeous. And, I could have used that one. I didn't think of it. Love these patterns. And I know this has been super popular already in the catalog. I used a piece from this paper for our card today. And then, of course, the back sides are a little bit more neutral, very colorful and fun. It's great paper. So let's get to the card. So what we're going to start with is I have, for this version, instead of using the Fern embossing folder, I have used the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder right there. And I did dry emboss this piece already. Now, you can do this in a variety of ways. This is the way that I measured my piece. Was I did a pencil mark up from the bottom at 2 5/8, so right there. Another one that's 1 1/8 in from this side. And then this dimension is 1/2 of an inch, okay? So I'm gonna grab my cutter. And yes, I'm using the old guillotine cutter that Stampin' Up used to sell. This is really my favorite cutter. And I have the dimensions right there. So 1/2 inch from the top, 1/8 inch from this part, and 2 5/8 inch here. This is about the halfway mark. But you can do whatever angle you want. And again, like the card I showed you for the sun prints class, it's a straight on. It's not even an angle. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to line up this pencil mark and this pencil mark on the edge of my, down here, where it's going to cut. I do have to get over here to the side to do it. And there we go. It doesn't have to be exact because, like I said, you can do any angle you want if you decide to go the angled route. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, move my paper because otherwise it's going to get cut, I think. I'm going to go from this top point down to this, the 1 1/8 inch mark. Pretty much lined up. Okay, so this is my discard piece, which I have this vision of using for something else sometime. making a reverse recess card. That's what I have in mind for another day. All right, so now I'm going to bring in some colored strips. And I measured these. Now there's more strips than I'm going to use here than I'm going to use on this card, because this is where I'm going to be asking your opinion a bit. So these are dimensions of these strips. It doesn't, as long as they're this length or longer, you're good. It's not like it's an exact thing. And you'll see in a minute why that is so. Now I have a piece of Designer Series paper here that's 3 by 6, so it's just the end of that one piece. It's got, you know, a night of navy in the inside, and all these gorgeous colors. One of the colors, the brightest pink, is this melon mambo. The green is granny apple green. So we're gonna experiment with some different edging on this one. And what we're gonna start with, let's see. I'm gonna start by putting my designer paper panel onto a white piece. Now this piece is a hair less than 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And this piece, before I cut it, was 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this is a hair less to give me a little bit of play when I put this together. Now, let's gauge my spacing here. I have to figure out where to put my designer paper piece. I'm going to bring in my craft mats because I've got adhesive on the back side of this piece already. And this is going into the recess, right? So I have to just make sure that it covers all the way to the top and this gap down here at the bottom. So it really has to just get to the point. So I think that's about where it needs to be. Now the question is, do I want the pink on the bottom or do I want the blue on the bottom? Let's do the pink on the bottom. So obviously I got to move my dry embossed pieces before I attach this. Just want to make sure that it's going to make it all the way to the top. Do I have enough? Do I have enough? No, it's not at the right angle. Okay, let's work on that. Now, since I'm using designer paper, I didn't want to use a whole quarter sheet, and there is actually sort of a downside to using a quarter sheet anyway. So I just have to play with the tilt of it. I could have done it a little bit longer or a little bit wider, which might have helped. Okay, I think that should do me. Do the flowers look upside down? Oh no, do they look upside down? Oh no, they look upside down. I might have to do this sideways. Oh, geez Louise. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a pencil mark right here so that I know exactly where it's supposed to be. Yeah, that looks more right. That looks up, right side up. Okay, I think that's gonna work. And I know that that's showing a little bit, but I think it'll be covered. Fuss, fuss, fuss. Okay, there we go. So the pink has to be at the top, otherwise the flowers look upside down. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and press that baby down. Now, because I've got it hanging off the edge, I've got adhesive on the back of this one too. I'm gonna pull my cutter in, and I'm gonna trim off my edges. We'll start with doing this top one because I can't go against any edge and have it be at the, well, I'll do this bottom one, that's what I'll do. Oh no. A little bit of white is showing there. Okay, it's gonna have to be the way it is. Okay, so let's just trim this one off. And then I'm going to put this into my cutter and trim off the other bits of designer series paper. Has anybody made a recess card? Comment and let me know. Or have you heard of it even? It's always fun to know what you guys have done. Hi, Pam. Good to see you. Okay, so there we go. Got our piece cut off all neat. We might need to adjust it a little bit down later. Yeah, it's hard to really tell. The flower's right side up and upside down. I don't know, that looks fine too, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so now we get to play with our edging. So I've got these two pieces here, and here is the question. Now I've got adhesive on the back of these. I don't want to attach it right away, but this is where your opinion comes in. I want to know whether you like the pink edge or I'm just going to lay it down, or the green edge. So there is pink. You did it in Stamp Club on Tuesday? No way. That's so funny. With torn paper. Oh, how fun. That sounds very fun. Okay, so pink. Now I'm going to pull in my green and see how that looks. So whichever one I do, I know it's hard to tell. I'm going to do the sentiment with the same accent color. So I'm going to just go ahead and go with the pink, because what the heck? Because this is all floral and pretty and stuff. So it's going to be hanging off the edge just a bit. And I'm going to snip off those excess pieces. Now I'm so curious about what you said, Jolene. How you guys did that. Okay, so now I've got my other one. Adhesive on the back again, or it's really the front. And pull that in. And I like to have just kind of a subtle edge, no more than 1/8 of an inch, maybe even a hair less than 1/8 of an inch. I just really want it to frame the recess, if you will. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, now I want to trim off my ends. Lots of trimming here. And do that one too. It's nice when you can hold the scissors against the edge of the paper. Make sure you get a straight cut. Now, I really want to do this one on the cutter because it's kind of a sharp angle. Not quite sure I'm going to get it right if I do it with the scissors. So you can see I'm taking my finger and pressing it against the edge of the cutter, so I make sure that the paper is flush against the edge as well. All right, so that one's going here. And that one's going here. Now, this sometimes happens where it's a little bit bigger. Actually, that would probably be fine. It's supposed to come like where that, see how that falls right into there? So, but the most important thing is that it's showing, that designer paper is showing all in the lower right-hand corner. So, first of all, I'm going to erase my little pencil marks because I can see them in there. And then okay, I might have to trim off just a little bit of one of these pieces because I want it to be just about there. And I did have to do this on one of my other ones. So what I'm going to do is trim about 1/8 of an inch off the top. And I'm just gauging it based upon the point there. And 1/8 of an inch off the side. And let's see if that fits a little bit better. Yes, much better. So that's where we are now. All right. My brick is dirty. How'd the brick get dirty? Maybe it's adhesive. Grab my little adhesive eraser. Clean up my white brick. Okay, so now I need some foam adhesive sheets, okay? Now these are a little bit thicker than dimensionals. And if you're gonna use them, I would recommend that you make sure you use all foam adhesive sheets or all dimensionals, whichever way, because they are slightly different thickness. So I'm gonna go ahead and just gauge the size of this piece by holding it up against my triangle. It's gonna be like that. And then let's do this. So this will give it a nice solid layer to really hold it up, accentuating the recess, if you will. Now let's make sure it fits on our card base the way it's supposed to. My size looks right. Now this is going to go ahead and be straight on here, but I'm not going to put it on yet, partly because I want to make sure that my edges all line up, and if they don't all line up, then I can trim them off, but if it's attached to the card base, I won't be able to trim it off. All right, so let's start with this one. Now, when I use my foam adhesive sheets, I always recommend that you only take off just a little bit to start with. Just fold it back, because once it's down, it's down. And if you have a little bit touching, it's easier to pull it up than if you have the whole bit of adhesive on your surface. So I'm going to just get this into position. I want the bottom lined up with the bottom of the designer paper, just like that. And you can see it's only attached at the top. And then I've got this sticking out because I folded it back, and I can just pull it back and I'm good to go. Slightly a little bit further down there. We'll see if we need to adjust that later. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this one. And again, I'm going to pull back just a bit. And for this, I want it to be just a little bit above, tiny little bit above, just so that I'm not going to see what's in behind as much. Okay, there we got that. Now again, I can just pull it out. All right. Let's see how we did on our edges. That's got adhesive on the back, of course. So it looks like I'm a little bit off down here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. You can see it on the back side. Your trimmer is your friend on this project. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to press the edge of the cutter against this edge, because it's the straight edge, and this is the hanging off portion. And if I do that, it's going to get that edge butt up against it and then trim off what's sticking out only. So there you go. And I've got a little bit sticking out on that side as well. And that actually might not matter so much. Let's see if it looks square on the card base. Let's see. Yeah, I might need to trim that bottom just a tiny bit. I am a bit of a perfectionist. What can I say? Okay, just a little hair. I'm not worried about those hanging off, as long as it looks square. But on the bottom, I was seeing some of the paper sticking out underneath. So that should be good. Ooh, I'm liking the way that's looking. Very fun. What do you guys think? Do you like the pink? That I chose the pink instead of the green? The green probably would have looked really pretty as well. All right, so now we're going to work on our sentiment. You see, I gave myself the choice of pink and green over here too. For this one, we are going to, well, let's just see what we think. I've taken a sentiment from the Nature's Print set. I heat embossed it in white, as you can see there. Did a few images on the sides in white as well. And then I also stamped a few more times just with Versamark, so you get a bit of a watermark. Oh, I'm glad you like my pink pick, MJ, and you too, Pam. Thank you both. It's always nice to get that affirmation that you made the right choice. So on this, we're going to go ahead and place the sentiment right on there. Now, let's use my silicone craft sheet because I've got adhesive on both of these pieces. And I'm going to lay that one down. And you can see I have adhesive on the back side of this one on only half. And there is a very important reason for that. I'll explain to you in a minute. But I'm going to leave more of the pink showing than I want to show in the end because I'm going to be adding a little bit of this gorgeous metallic woven ribbon. Now, this is the metallic woven ribbon in the in colors. It is Starry Sky. I always think that Starry Sky is the more purple of the two, but it's actually the more blue relative to Orchid Oasis, which is more purple. Do I have the purple around? I gotta show you. So this is the Orchid Oasis. It's very purple, whereas the Starry Sky is more blue. And the ribbons show that stark contrast in the color much more than the cardstock does. I love both of these colors. These are two of the new in colors. So I'm going to be adding my ribbon to the bottom, sort of a little underline, if you will. So I've just got the tiniest bit of pink at the bottom. And I think that'll be enough. I'm covering up a bunch of it with the ribbon. So let's grab a glue dot. Put a glue dot right in behind where the navy and the, that is Melon Mambo meet, because that's where the ribbon's gonna fall in the back. So I'm just gonna wrap it around. Oop, sticking to the back. And my finger's sticking to it too. So there, we got it stuck to the glue dot. I'm gonna pull it nice and snug. I really want it to straddle where the two cardstock colors come together. Basically covering that line. And then we'll just trim off the excess. Now I'm going to put another glue dot down over the top of that ribbon just to make sure that it stays down nice and secure. Okay. Dang. My finger's going with it too. Let's try that again. Here, let's use my silicone craft mat, 'cause it won't stick to that, right? I love my silicone craft mat. I use this, I think, every single time I sit and craft now. It's just a lifesaver. Okay, let's add a few more glue dots to this side of it. Okay, that should be good. So I have adhesive, what is, let's see, we got this, got it backwards here. So this, the left side of the card, this side has adhesive, because on the card, it's going to sit on this raised surface, and it's going to be lifted up over here. So what I want to do on this side over here is use a little bit of my foam adhesive sheet to pop it up. So let's see if that's, yeah, I just need a little bit over there. And it's going to go right there at the bottom. Let's go ahead and take that off and put it on, and we are done. My ribbon's wanting to not straddle. Let's get it in just the right spot so it stays there after it's attached. Okay, come on, do what I say. And I just have it, I don't know, maybe 3/16 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, now, I just realized, okay, cut this down, and it's too long. I want it to just go from the designer paper to this white edge, and so I'm gonna need to cut a bit off, which means detaching my ribbon. Let's see how it looks without doing that. Nah, I want it to go right. I want it to be right. So this is just going to get detached, and I'm going to redo it. So I can cut off a little bit of that edge. Okay. Okay, so just pulling back that ribbon, and we'll fix it in just a sec. Let's see how much I have to trim off. Looks like about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do this off camera. All right, let's test that out again. Okay, looks just right. All right, now we are ready to go. There we go. There's my finished card. Looks really simple. It seems like it took me a long time to make it though. But worth it. I love that paper. Okay, so let's look at the original one with the Sunprints paper. So you could replace this paper out and use all kinds of papers or a background that you create. So many possibilities. So my third version that I want to show you was made with some, what I like to call card salad. You guys who know me know what card salad is. Basically my little nibbles and bits of pieces and parts that I created during some other creative session. These were all created while I was playing with alcohol and ink, which morphed into basically a make your own alcohol ink class and projects. So all these fun pieces. So this one, I used one of those fun card salad pieces, and I put that in the recess instead of designer paper. So you could do whatever you want. Now I did the same sentiment, heat embossed it in white. It's pretty subtle in there because it's got a watercolored piece background. That was a scrap as well from my card salad. Heat embossed those images on the side, and I think that's a really fun one. I love fall and fall colors, so This was, I think, created sometime in fall in some year, don't know what. And this one I used the, what is that embossing folder called? Time Worn Trim. Time Worn Trim? I think that's what it is. So you see the letters in there. I love that one, right? Stamped on the inside. Now, I was planning on stamping on the inside of this one as well, so let's just do it. I'm going to use some Night of Navy. And the same image in the lower right-hand corner. Actually, I want to do this one too. So let's do them both. Let's finish these off. I'm going to stamp off. I don't want it to be super dark. So second ink, third ink. There you go. I'm going to keep those simple. I just love this image, and I love this stamp set. Oh, that's full ink. Not what I meant to do, but that's okay. They'll all be different. So now I'm doing first, second, and third ink. That looks pretty too. Let's do a little bit of the dark on the edge to kind of frame it a little bit. So there we go. We got our insides. We got our different fun versions. What do you guys think? Do you have a favorite? I always like to know what your favorites are. Now, I did want to talk just for a second about my design process, because I had most of this one done, and except for what I was going to do at the bottom for the sentiment. And I toyed around with a lot of different options, including circles, a couple of different die cuts, some angular pieces, and none of them seemed right. So what I was looking for was, I thought about contrast. A circle would have been a contrast, but it just didn't look right. And I just wanted that simple, clean lines. So some of the fussier shapes, die cut shapes, didn't seem to work really well, in my opinion. And so that's why I settled on just this really simple cut piece along the bottom. So, and it kind of like just casts a shadow on here. Now, I do want to point one thing out, because when I was playing with this, when I made this one, do you notice there's a difference? We'll play the game. Can you see the one thing that's different? Oh, the pink one is your favorite. The green one is outstanding. Okay, I like that. I like outstanding. So do you see a difference between them at all? Like, I mean, obviously different designer papers, but a difference in the recess. Anybody catch it? So while you're doing that, can you see that I could use any of these big pieces in a recess like that? And it would be so fun and different, to play with. This color scheme is, that one's Pear Pizzazz, and I think it's Crushed Curry and Pumpkin Pie. The corner, something about the corner. Yes. What about the corner, Linda? I think you've got it. Green is from the corner. There you go. Okay, so you caught it. So this was actually kind of a mistake. I didn't intend to do that. Yep, Megan, you got it as well. I was just cutting and I sort of forgot. I was thinking, oh yeah, I did it from the upper corner. So I did my thing. I cut it. And it was like, oh, darn. So this is just, and they're all great, right? It doesn't really matter. It looks really nice coming all the way to the top, and looks nice that way too. So you could do, a different angle, right? You could start way down here. You could orient it this way, orient it up that way. Lots of different possibilities. Or like I did with my class, just do a straight cut, which is much simpler. I didn't want it to be too complex to explain in the class. So, because this obviously took a little bit of messing with to get it right. So yeah, you guys got it. So I hope this has inspired you to create your own, to go pull out some of your designer paper, or maybe some of your own card salad pieces that are sitting around, and to play. Now, one of the things I also was thinking about as I was doing this, well, I thought a couple things. So I have this cutout piece, right? This is what came out of here. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to make this the raised part in the middle and recess the outside corners, and then maybe do a raised frame? So just a kind of a different different idea to play around with because I have these cool little pieces, right? So why not? So I've got the brick, the fern, and then my green one is sitting around here as well. Let's see what this looks like just if I like put that on the outside. So isn't that kind of cool as well, with maybe with a green frame, just to give you some idea. So yeah. So the other thing I was thinking about, aside from this, was kind of the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape, the event that I talked about earlier, has to some degree kind of changed how I do things. So one of the things that we always do in that event is we show multiple variations of a given design or technique. And in doing that, it's an opportunity to help you see what you can use in your collection, how easy it is to adapt a design to something that you have, that you own. So the event is not about, inviting you to purchase everything in the catalog. We do show a lot, but it's about helping you find your own creative groove and just have a lot of fun doing it. So we do show tons of ideas. So just wanted to share that little tidbit. Now I'm going to turn the camera around and say a quick goodbye, a few little reminders, and let you be on your way. All right. So if there is anybody here who has been to Maker's Mojo, would like to share a little tidbit about something you really enjoy about it, I would love that. It's something that I have realized is so much fun, not just for me, but for my fellow presenters who are very talented. Wendy Lee, Audra Monk, Anne-Marie Heil, and Joe Blackman are all the presenters for that event. And we learned so much from each other and have so much fun doing it. And one of my favorite things about the craft and about doing the craft and about being a demonstrator is being creative and showing alternatives and helping people, whoever wants to listen, to find their own creative bliss, if you will. I love to use that term because I love finding my own creative bliss. So this event is it's so different from anything else I've done. And it's a little bit like, a massive technique class to some degree. We do techniques, we do fun folds, but we go deep with all of what we offer because each presentation is multiple projects. So anyway, you can tell I'm a fan, and it really just jazzes me up. My yoga teacher this morning, what did she talk? She talked about a power up and how there are certain things in your life that gets you excited and jazzed and motivated, and energized. Crafting is definitely one of those things. The Maker's Mojo event is definitely one of those things for me, and we hope that it is for everybody who participates. So up until now, it sort of feels like this best kept secret. We don't want it to be a secret anymore. We want as many people as possible to join us because it's really a blast. All right, quick recap. I'll move on. Oh yes, Julia, you're joining us. How wonderful! I'm so glad. I remember. Okay, let's see what else. Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Pam. Thanks for chiming in with your thoughts about Maker's Mojo. All right. Yes. So Maker's Mojo. Register as soon as you can. We're going to let people register even up to a week after the event because you'll be able to get the videos and the PDFs after anyway. But it's more fun to participate live if you can in the Facebook group. And what's going on now in the Facebook group is all these play along posts where people are, we're posing questions and people answer the questions. People, it's like hearing all these crafty related insights, information, perspectives. It's very, very fun. And then we're doing door prizes for each of those play along posts, and there's 10. But again, the sooner you get into the group, the sooner you can participate because they will be closing. Each one will only last about 2 days. So you have to comment on it right away and get into the group right away. All right. Anything else I need to remind you about? Go to my email and fill out that Christmas card Stamp a Stack survey if you're interested. Consider purchasing, hosting, or joining to win that free event, to earn the free event that I'm offering in September for celebration. Let's see what else. And, Anyway, yeah, and join my team. Become a Treehouse Chick. We have so much fun. Alrighty, I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I just am honored that you spent the time with me, that you want to be here with me crafting, and I hope you'll come back soon. So next Facebook Live will be 2 weeks from tonight. Next week, of course, is Maker's Mojo, so I won't be going live. Be focusing on that, and that is August 4th, I think. 2 weeks from tonight is August 4th. Can't believe it. Oh my gosh, it's almost August. Alrighty. So, let's see. I have one other thing I want to mention. And somebody here in this group, my friend Mary Beth Ravenscroft, is in this group. And we may be doing an event in conjunction with or before the on stage, the Stampin' Up! On stage event in, what is it? Texas. What's the name of the city? It's not Alexandra. Oh, Mary Beth, chime in. What's the name of the city? It's in Texas. And we will do it. It will be an all-day event. And it's going to, if I do it, I'm still contemplating, trying to figure it out. It will be a creative extravaganza. It will be creative play all day long. Not just card making. Arlington, thank you. I knew it began with an A. And I'm super excited about it. So if, still, again, trying to sort out whether I'm going to do it or not, but just chime in if you live anywhere near Texas or in Texas or somewhere near Arlington and you would be excited to participate. It would be just so fun to get a little bit of feedback, you know, to see if there's interest out there. So it would be sort of a guided creative experience. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. And we would make projects, but there would be latitude to just play with the ideas that get shared in the class. So anyway, chime in and let me know. Leave comments, whether you watch live or the replay. You'll be going, you're going to on stage, or will you go to the event that I do? I might need your help, Pam. You come. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful couple of weeks. Hope to see you in Maker's Mojo if you decide to join us. And hope to see you on August 4th. Have a wonderful evening. Bye. Go find your creative bliss.